Studying's always good. Are you doing anything else for the rest of the day? Do you have any other plans?
No, I'm going to take English classes, and then I will study a little bit, and then I relaxed. I will relax.
All right, nice. That sounds like a pretty good day. And
Yes.
Claudio, what about you? Um, Maybe tomorrow. What are you gonna do tomorrow, Claudio?
Tomorrow I will go to work again,
Okay.
and uh, and I go to gym and join in one verbling class
All right, nice. We go to the gym. So
to
remember,
the gym.
to
Yes,
the gym.
to the
All right.
gym.
And Anatoly, welcome to class as well. Anatoly, how are you doing?
Hello, thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And Anatoly, what about you? What have you done today so far?
It was my working day. Monday it is a time for meeting, for everyday meeting in my job. Mm, Nothing special.
Okay. All right, nice. And Jaime, welcome to class. Jaime, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, nice. And Jaime, where are you from?
I'm from Spain, southeast of Spain, from Alicante.
Nice. Awesome. And Julieta, welcome to class as well. Julieta, how are you doing? Julieta, can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I can.
Okay, nice. And perfect. So, how are you doing? How are you, Julieta?
I'm well, thanks.
Nice. Okay, awesome. And let's get into today's class. Jaime, can you read the title and the next couple of lines?
Traveling the world. Today we will learn travel vocabulary, discuss traveling to different countries, talk about how to use public transportation.
Nice. Really good pronunciation. That sounded
Thanks.
good. You're welcome. Okay, let's go on to the next page. And Julieta, can you read the title and then ask Fernando the first question?
Discuss the questions with your classmates. Do you like to travel? Why or why not?
Yes, I love travel because you can uh, meet people and visit wonderful places and eat different food. I like the food.
Nice. Okay, good. That's awesome. All right, perfect. One small thing, I like traveling. Instead of I like travel, I like to travel or I like traveling. But really good. What's the best food that you've tried when you were traveling? What's the best food you've tried while traveling?
Tacos. I love
Apples?
tacos. No, tacos. Tacos
Tacos.
from
Tacos.
Mexico.
Okay, nice. Yeah, tacos.
Any place that I go, I try to find a Mexican restaurant.
Okay. How are the Mexican restaurants in Virginia?
Oh, there are so many.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Nice. Okay. And Fernando, can you ask Claudio the next question?
Okay, Claudio, what is the best place you have traveled to? Why did you like it?
The best place was Edinburgh, and I love it because the city is very beautiful and the people are good, and uh, and I like all about Edinburgh.
I like everything about Edinburgh.
Everything. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Okay. When did you go to Edinburgh? When did you go?
About 2 years ago.
About when?
2 years ago.
Okay, nice. And Claudio, can you ask Anatoly the next question?
Yes. What is the worst place you have traveled to? Why didn't you like it?
It is a not easy question because I like traveling and every trip uh, gave me new emotions, new knowledge, and I can compare. For example, I like visiting Spain. I was in Spain many times. The first time I was in Barcelona, near Barcelona, and the second time maybe was not so interesting when I visited Benidorm in Spain. Maybe it was a more difficult time in my life because I changed my job and I was concerned about new job. Maybe it is because I didn't expect to find uh, the skyscrapers like in New York. I expected to find the classical for Spanish province buildings. I don't know, but I can't say that it is the worst place. Just campaign with the previous and next visits to Spain. I like Spain.
Okay, nice. To the previous visit. Okay, nice. That's a really good job. Good answer. So maybe compared to the previous visit, it was a little bit worse, but it still wasn't bad. All right, nice. Very good. And Benidorm. Jaime, you look probably have been to Benidorm. What do you think of Benidorm, Jaime?
Well, Benidorm is it was a little bill where the fishermen live, but right now it's a big city, plenty of skyscrapers. So it's nothing to be with the city it was 20 years ago. Very close to Benidorm, there is a beautiful city with typical classical Spanish architecture. It's called Altea, and well, maybe it's something that that Anatoly will like it more than Benidorm, of course, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd never heard of Benidorm before, but it's a really big place, it looks like. Yeah, really interesting. Okay, cool.
It's not no, it's not really a big place.
Okay. At least from the pictures where I'm looking, it just looks like there are definitely a lot of skyscrapers. It looks, yeah, relatively large and right on the beach. It reminds me sort of Rio. But interesting. Okay, good. And does anybody have any questions on this page? Any questions here?
No, I'm okay.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Cool. And let's have Anatoly, can you read the title?
Okay. Vocabulary. Read the words. Ask about any you don't know.
Good. Can you just repeat read?
Read, yes, present.
Okay. Good. And can you read the first 4 words?
Okay. Check in, take off, road, hostel.
Nice. And let's have Alex. Can you read the next 5 words?
Hotel, sightseeing, suitcase, subway, hitchhike.
Good. Subway. Can you repeat subway?
Subway.
Nice. And then hitchhike.
Hitchhike.
Yeah, hitchhike. Okay, nice. Does anybody have any questions about any of these words?
I don't know what does mean sightseeing.
Okay. Can anybody explain what sightseeing is? What's sightseeing?
It is famous buildings, places, monuments, something which we can recommend for tourists to visit, to see.
Yeah. So going to see famous buildings, places, monuments. Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Does that make sense? Somebody, I'm not sure who asked. Okay. Yeah. So just seeing the sights. Any other questions about any of these words?
Yes. Hitchhiking.
Okay. Can anybody explain what hitchhiking is?
Hitchhiking is the action that is doing the man of the picture on the right.
Yeah, good. So the action
Okay.
man in the picture is doing, for sure. Can you read that sentence one more time with the corrections? Sorry, so can you read this sentence one more time?
Okay. The action that the man in the picture is doing.
Perfect. Nice job.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay. So if there's no other questions, let's go on to the next page. And let's have Jaime. Can you read the title?
Vocabulary. Choose a word and use it in a sentence.
Yeah. And let's do that in the chat box. So everybody choose a word and write a sentence with that word in the chat box, one of the two chat boxes. Nice, Jaime. Trying to get it. And Fernando, nice. Okay, and let's start with Jaime. Can you read your sentence?
I took the subway to go to the meeting.
Yeah, nice job. Took the subway to go to the meeting. I wouldn't change anything there. And I guess Fernando, can you read your sentence?
Yes, I had problems when I was looking for the subway.
Okay. I had problems. I think that's good. All right, and I guess let's have Anatoly. Can you read your sentence?
I booked the hotel for 2 nights.
Nice. Okay, you guys are doing really well. All right, and Claudio, what about you? Can you read yours?
I had lost my suitcase when I was in Prague.
Okay, I had lost. We might change this verb tense. So instead of saying had lost,
Have.
not
I
quite.
lost it.
Yeah, we just use the past tense, which is actually just lost.
But
So I lost my suitcase when I was in Prague. So because it's an action in the past, so that is over. Action in the past, that's over. Usually we'd use the past perfect. Say I had been, or I had lost my suitcase for a whole month before I found it. This is like an action in the past that happens before another action. So a completed action in the past that happens before another one. I'd lost it, but then I found it.
okay, so I don't use the past perfect when it was happening a lot of years ago.
No, we'd just use the past tense. I lost
Okay.
my. Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
perfect.
yeah. You could use the past tense in the conditional statements too, in the third conditional. So, if I had studied more, I would have gone to college. If I had studied more. So that would be another time where we'd use that past perfect, is in the third conditional. Conditional statements.
Okay.
Awesome, though. Really good job. And Julieta, can you read your sentence?
I had to weight my suitcase before doing the check-in.
Nice. Okay, that works well. One thing we could say before checking in, before doing the check-in works as well. It might sound a little bit more just simpler to say checking in, but that works. So really nice. Good job, Julieta. And Alex, can you read your sentence?
Hurry up. The plane is about to take off.
Good. And that's perfect. One of the differences between plane, like P-L-A-N, is what you're talking about, and a plane is like a long, flat area of grassy, like grasslands, so I guess if we're going to do a picture. Oh, man. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, plain is just grassland, really flat grassland, and it could also mean just really average or normal would be plain. Spelled with the I. But yeah, perfect. Really good job. Does anybody have any questions on this page? Any questions here? Okay. Let's do this. And let's start with, I think, Jaime. Jaime, can you read the title?
Fill in the blanks.
Nice. And can you do the first one, Jaime?
Sure. I got a flat tire.
Nice. Really good job. I got a flat tire. And Julieta, can you try the next one?
This isn't the car I reserved online.
Good. Nice job. Fernando, what about the next one?
Oh. I locked my keys in my car.
Yeah, I locked my keys in my car. Good. Really nice job. And Claudia, what about the next one?
I I maybe jump out. No, no.
Okay, let's come back to this one. What about the next one, Claudio?
I go into an accident.
Nice. Good. And Anatoly, what about the next one?
Next, my car is making a lot of noise.
Good. Nice job, Anatoly. And Alex, the next one?
My battery is dead.
Perfect. And Jaime, what about the next one?
Can you give me a jump start?
Can you give me a jump start? Perfect. Good. And Julieta, what about this one up here?
I ran out of gas.
Yeah, I ran out of gas. Does anybody have any questions about any of these sentences?
What a jump start is.
Okay. Jaime, what's a jump start?
I think it's when you can engage your car and someone push from the behind of the car. Maybe it's that.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's one way to jumpstart your car. So when the battery is dead and you have to use other sources of energy to start your car. So your battery is dead and you need or use something else to start it. So you can use jumper cables. So hold on, let me get a picture of jumper cables. Jumper cables. So these are jumper cables, and so you can use them. I guess those are jumper cables. You can use them to attach to the battery of another car, and you use that battery's energy to start your own car. Or you could push it from behind until it catches with a standard clutch. Okay, and ran. It looks like Marcio has a question about ran out of gas. Can somebody explain what ran out of gas means?
When you finished the gas.
Yeah, so when you finish the gasoline in your vehicle. And so there's no more gasoline and it doesn't run anymore. Yeah, and that's exactly it. All right, and any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, let's go on to the next page then. And let's have Claudio. Can you read the title and the directions?
Okay. Tourism. Talk about the pros and cons of mass tourism and the effect it has or may have on local communities and the environment. Use the picture, for example.
Good. All right. Claudio, actually, Anatoly, can you start? Can you answer?
Okay. The mass of tourism in the place have a lot of benefit for the local people because there will a lot of work for the local people, and the economy can raise a lot.
Okay. The economy can raise a lot. We'd want to say that differently.
Grow up? No.
Yeah. You could say the economy can grow.
Okay.
So maybe we'd say that mass tourism has a lot of maybe gives, or you could even just say benefits. I think that's so. Use benefit as a verb. Benefits the local people because it gives them lots of jobs and helps the economy grow. Can you read that sentence one more time?
Mass tourism benefits the local people because it gives them lots of jobs and helps the economy grow.
Perfect. Really nicely done. All right. And okay, so let's have be Alex. What are some pros and some other cons? Some pros or cons?
Mhm. Well, the pros, I agree with my partner, and the cons. For example, the mass tourism can be harmful for the place and for the people who lives there as well. Because of the massification, the yes, the massification.
The what education?
No, the massification. No. It's correct. Massification.
I'm not sure.
No, it's when there are many people in a place, and things, the transports, and every anything can work properly because there are many movement and many activity. So the
Um,
it, sometimes this is no good for the people who lives in the place.
okay, so when a place is really crowded, sometimes
Yes.
it there's a lot of
Hmm.
traffic and things like that. Yeah, okay.
Mm. The
And
parks can be damaged. The
okay,
monuments and all streets.
all right, nice. The parks and monuments can be damaged and maybe polluted. Okay,
Mm.
good. Can anybody else think of any pros and cons for mass tourism? Anybody else?
Sometimes when the mass tourism happens, the after the tourism station or the time who that the people come to vacation, the the environmentalists sometimes affect for the many people that stay there. And pros is when more jobs, helpful for the store in the city, um, the hotels, the restaurants, attractions, things like that.
Okay, so hotels and restaurants and attractions all benefit.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. I think that's nicely answered. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments for this page before we move on? Any last questions or comments here? Okay. Okay, let's try this. Let's do some reading. And let's start with Jaime. Jaime, can you read the title?
Exploring Lanai, Hawaii, roads to resorts, New York Times, except.
Yeah, an excerpt. Okay, and Jaime, can you read that first part, the highlighted part?
Long before Mr. Ellison came onto scene, a devoted sort of traveler has been drawn to Lanai in search of a rude and rural Hawaii that once was. Before the walls of beach resorts, condominiums, high-end restaurants, and beaches crawling with summer surfers and snorkelers.
Okay, good. That sounded great. Can you repeat swimmers?
Swimmers.
Yeah, swimmers. And then this is lanai. Can you repeat lanai?
Lanai.
Good. All right, I think that sounded really great. Um, all right, and let's have Julieta. Can you read the next part?
After coming to Lanai over the last 3 years, I too embraced its wind-swept barrens and isolation, the harsh challenges in traveling deeply rut and dusty roads to find its beaches, trails and ruins, even the relative lack of things to do after sundown. Still, a return trip in June made clear that things are changing.
Good. All right, and for this first part, does anybody have any questions? Any questions on this first part?
Has been drawn.
Okay, has been drawn. So this is the present perfect. So we'd want to say it's something that's happening, or that happened in the past, that continues to happen. So has been drawn, so it's still continuing to happen, and it's just being attracted to. So has been attracted to, or has wanted to visit, you could say. So if you're drawn to something, you like it and you want to see more of it, you want to go there perhaps. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. And any other questions for this part right here, this first part?
Yes. What does high-end restaurants mean?
Okay, high-end restaurants. Can anybody explain what a high-end restaurant is? Does anybody know? Or any guesses?
The
Well,
most
maybe. Well, there are expensive restaurants.
Yeah, it's an expensive restaurant. And can you repeat restaurant one more time?
Restaurant.
Yeah, restaurant. Restaurant. Good.
Restaurant.
Perfect. Nicely done. So yeah, a high-end restaurant is just a very expensive restaurant. Any other questions? Does anybody else have any other questions here?
Can I use it for something else like clothes?
Yeah, high-end clothing. Exactly. Or a high-end condominium, a high-end apartment. Anything high-end is just it's more expensive, usually nicer. Okay? And
What
any,
is
oh,
barrenness?
what is
Barrenness.
barrenness? Okay.
Barrenness.
Does anybody know what barrenness means? What does barrenness mean? Or barren? Any ideas?
Some kind of desertic or
Some kind of what?
desert
Yeah.
when there is no vegetation.
So it would be lacking in life.
Yeah.
Lifeless. So with very little plant and animal growth. Animal growth. Perfect. That would be something that's barren. Any other questions? Any other questions? So what about crawling with swimmers, surfers, and snorkelers? What does that mean? Maybe Fernando, what's that mean?
attractions.
Not quite. So crawling with blank. What does it mean to be crawling with somebody? Does anybody know?
Maybe when there are a lot of people in a place, like swimmers and other room.
Yeah, so it'd be crowded. So if a place is crawling, It's just crowded. So it might be a reference to people, the way people move. So usually when there are a lot of people, things go really slowly. So you have to crawl. So things move at a crawl. So think of traffic. The traffic is crawling. It's moving very slow because there are so many people. So the beaches are crawling with swimmers, surfers, and snorkelers, and it just means that the beaches are full of those people. All right. And any other questions here? Any other questions?
Can we use barren when the woman can't be pregnant or some?
Yeah, that's also a term. So if a woman can't have conceived children, she could be called barren.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not sure if it's a politically correct term, though. Hold on. Yeah, no, I don't think it's called barren, really. You'd probably want to call it infertile. But yeah, I think it's kind of impolite to call somebody barren. So just be aware of that. Okay, and Vaughn, welcome to class. Vaughn, how are you doing?
Problem what?
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Ah, okay, and so Vaughn, how are you? How are you doing? Okay, well, let's move on for a minute. Fernando, can you read this next part?
Mr. Ellison presence can be felt almost everywhere. The construction at the resorts, the spicing up of Lanai, desalination plants, agriculture, mid-class housing, and even a college campus, and a film festival. Everyone is watching as the billionaire visionary seeks to change Lanai to his liking while presumably remaining faithful to the idea of it as the place to find Hawaii as it once was.
Campus. Machinery.
Presumably. Campus.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and can you also repeat spiffing? Spiffing. Okay. Nice. Good job. That was great. Really good pronunciation. Good change with campus and presumably. All right. And what about this next part? Does anybody have any questions here? Any questions?
What is spiffing?
Spiffing. Yeah. What? Can you repeat spiffing?
Spiffing.
Yeah. Does anybody know what spiffing up is?
When maybe when make a beautiful some place or thing.
Yeah. Maybe more beautiful.
More beautiful.
Or more organized. So if you're going out on a date, you could say, I spiffed up before my date, or I got spiffed up. So it's just like to organize something into making it look maybe prettier, cleaner, things like that would be spiffing up, maybe cleaning up. So if you have guests, maybe, you can say, I'm going to spiff up the house before you guys come, so just make sure you call me before you leave. But good. Any other questions here?
About meaning of this page. In the first part, we knew that it was rural place, but beautiful place. In the middle, we recognized that it came, it appeared to not so suitable for living, and in the last part, good improvement. And what happened here?
So yeah, I think you're right. In the beginning, it's really rural. It's rough. It's not organized. There are no beach resorts, condominiums, no restaurants really. And the beaches are pretty quiet, so they're not very crowded. And it's kind of barren. So at first it was barren. It was isolated. The roads weren't very good. And there's not much to do. But this person who bought the island, this billionaire, is trying to make it, is trying to spiff it up maybe. So change things, have a college, film festivals, middle class housing, things like that. So it's changing, and it's changing to this person's
Yes,
life.
maybe my question was because I split it for three parts. Middle part, second part after coming to Lanai over to the last 3 years. Does it mean that it was the second stage, the second period, the second time, or it referred to the first part?
I think it refers to the first part. So the writer was saying that, I actually think it's a she, really liked the way that Lanai used to be, more barren, isolated, and everything like that. So I think that's what she's trying to say. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
All right. And let's go here.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, one time Plantation Town is a farmer town. The old farmer town.
Plantation Town is a really rural town, so it has a few houses, but for the most part, they're big houses with a lot of land, and so they're meant for farming. So you'd grow things like cotton, a lot of different crops on a plantation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions here? Okay, let's do some questions. And let's have Fernando. Can you ask Claudio the first question?
Where is Lanai? What is it like?
Okay. Lanai is in Hawaii, and it is like because it is a beautiful place where I can spend my holidays.
Okay, my holidays. I think that's good. Is it different from the rest of Hawaii? Is it different in any ways?
Yes, because it is an island. And
Okay, so let's go back here. I think in this one, this sentence, maybe this too.
oh yes.
So yeah, can you describe maybe Lanai a little bit more?
It have a rogue and a sural place, and I forgot the other things.
Okay. The other thing. So maybe it's barren and maybe dry and has maybe not the best infrastructure, but barren and dry and isolated, I think were some words that they used. Okay. And Claudio, can you ask Anatoly the next question?
What is happening to Lanai, and what do you think the author thinks about this change?
As I understood, the new person came to the Lanai, rich person, and he made some financial help for this place, and it was improving, and it had improved maybe.
Yeah. Maybe and improved it. Or began improving it. I think that would probably be the best. Began
Yes.
improving it. So he gave some financial help. So he gave some financial aid to this place and began to improve it. Nice, that's good. And what do you think the author thinks about this change?
The author agreed that it is better.
Okay, good. That it is better
than previous statement.
Previously was.
I don't know the word. Previous statement state.
Yeah, than it previously was. I think could work. So the author agrees that it is better than it previously was.
Okay.
Okay. And let's have Alex. Can you ask Jaime the next question?
Do you prefer to travel to resorts or undeveloped places? Why?
90% of the times I prefer to travel to undeveloped places. Maybe because what I look for is, when I travel, is sometimes when I visit big cities, I look for cultural places, monuments to visit, and some other times I look for the nature. For example, the next trip I want to go to Iceland because I find that it should be really awesome, all the nature there. But there is a 10%, or sometimes I also want to go to a resort to do nothing, absolutely nothing, and just relax and don't think of anything. And so I think that there is a market for both kind of places, undeveloped and resorts. And there is a question of choice depending on the time and also the person. And in my case, I prefer undeveloped places, but sometimes resorts will do the best for what I look for. Will fix better.
Maybe suit me the best.
Sweet, yeah. Suit me the best.
Yeah, okay, good. And Alex, what about you? Which do you prefer?
I prefer to travel to undeveloped places, but what does the question mean about the undeveloped places?
So I think it could mean a number of different things because this is a pretty big dichotomy, undeveloped places and resorts. So a resort would be more like hotels and classical resorts that are kind of all-inclusive, that they have pools and large areas for a tourist to stay in. And an undeveloped place would be, you know, going to the city or going to a small town and kind of trying to blend in more with locals. Obviously not entirely, but blend in a little bit more maybe.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, yeah. So I prefer to travel to undeveloped places because I like to when I travel I I like to I like to find the real lifestyle of the people of the city. So I try to know people from the place and yes, I try to connect with the essence of the place.
Nice. I try to get to know people. So instead of saying I try to know people, I try to get to know people.
Okay. Try to
But
get-
nice. Okay. And good. Does anybody have any questions on this page? All right, let's go on to the next page. I think this is a good one to talk about. Let's try this though. And Jaime, can you ask Julieta the first question?
What is the best thing, most interesting, luckiest, most fun that has ever happened to you on a trip?
Mm. Okay, one time we went to do camping with in a camp place, and there were few tents, um, and there were 3 or 4 groups of people there. During the night, one of that guy suffering of somnambulism, I don't know the name. When you walk on your sleep.
So sleepwalking? So sleptwalk.
Okay. It was a sleepwalking. And he started. He went out of the tent and started to walking. So because of that, another guy in another tent have heard the noise, and he started barking because he thought there was an animal. So at the end, people woke up because of the barking, and we saw the guy walking and the guy is barking, and so.
Guy walking and guy barking. That sounds really funny. Nice. That's awesome. Okay, really good story. Unfortunately, guys, we're just about out of time. Does anybody have any questions on this page or about anything today? Any questions? Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So really good job, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you guys all again soon. Again, let me know if you have any questions, but great class and have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.